Right, back live with you tonight on In Focus. The inaugural Social Justice Assembly starts on Thursday in Pretoria and runs until Friday. The gathering will unpack findings of the Social Justice Report Review that was published in November 2020. The report focuses on building sectoral cohesion and better coordination in response to challenges faced by South Africans. For more on this, we're now joined by the Socio-Economic rights, we are actually joined by one of the coordinating committee members, who is also part of the Cape Flats movement, Caroline Peters. Caroline, good evening, and thank you very much for your time and for joining us today here on In Focus. After years of consultation, it has amounted to this now, these 2 days where you've created the space called the Social Justice Assembly. First and foremost, what are you creating in this particular space?
Yes, good evening to you and good evening to the viewers. Yes, so we are very excited to be bringing this inaugural social justice sector assembly. So in 2019, when Rate Foundation initiated a social justice sector review study, so as you know, and then COVID happened, this assembly was supposed to take place in September 2020. There were 2 webinars, but we always wanted to have an in-person review of the study or the assembly after the review study was done, completed. And so, of course, COVID happened and we couldn't do that. So what do we want to do? Like I said, in 2019, the RATE initiated the sector review study. The objective of the review was to map the key milestones and developments of the sector since the dawn of our democracy. The review was intended to provide a historical account of the sector since the transition to the democratic governance. More importantly, it was envisaged as an information source to inform future sector strategies to maximize impact towards realizing the goals of a fair distribution of benefits and burdens in society.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
At the heart of this, in simple terms, you are fighting for access to constitutional rights. Exactly what will be the conversations? What are the speakers, the participants going to be engaged in?
So we have an agenda that was set by not just the reference group, but we are hoping that we will be guided by the assembly, that we will have robust discussions and debates and inputs. I mean, we had a brilliant reference group that was made up of leaders in the sector that informed the review. So we are hoping, the assembly program that we as the ICC members assembled was more to make sure to convene. So we're convening 250 leaders from key social justice organizations, which include civil society, social movements, and some academics, So we holding a focused dialogue on the state of the country, the region, and the world, and what has been achieved in various struggles. And so we are hoping to have robust debates and sessions. We'll have multiple sessions.
Yeah. Let's talk about the review report itself. What was found? Give us a summary of that review report that you will be kind of walking through. What was found in that report and what are areas of concern?
Okay. So some of the... Sorry. I'm just going to my notes. I'm so sorry. So in the review report, we've had 2 webinars on what was found. The report was finalized in September 2020. 2 webinars were convened to share the findings of the review. So, I cannot speak at the moment to that. I'm just...
Yeah, let's talk about this. But one of the areas that was found, an identifiable part of it is, of course, after the defeat of apartheid and the demobilization of the legal redrafting of South Africa, rise of populism, cross-class anti-corruption front support and anti-neoliberal struggles and mistrust began to emerge. And then we were finding ourselves smack bam in the middle of the COVID era. What was the conversation around those particular aspects?
So from the reference group, if I can just take you a step back. So the reference group was made up of Keketso Moeti, Mandisa Shandu, Mbongiseni, Buthelezi, Nolondu, and many other thought leaders and leaders in their sectors, and they did not represent themselves and the organizations, but the sector, So in recognition of so after that, and that is why I think one of the things that we want to discuss over the next 2 days is the outcomes of this and what the next step forward would be.
All right. So this will be taking place over the next 2 days, 26 and
26 and 27.
And 27. And already the delegates have registered. Are there more people who can be a part of this? How will they be able to be a part of it?
We could only accommodate 250 participants, 1,000 people registered. We then had to, of course, look at sectoral, geographics, representation in all that way. However, there is still a way. There's a link. If you go to our website, there's a link that you can join online. Please register to join online. Even some of the plenary sessions can be accessed online.
All right. Caroline Peters, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. Caroline Peters, one of the coordinating members for the Social Justice Assembly taking place in South Africa. It's the inaugural one. That would be quite important.